Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sharon. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always sticking by. We are at a village in Kenya. The name of the village is Game Yala, and this is in Africa. My dad has been building slowly in the village. This is his home, and I've been showing you the process of building over time. So today I'll be taking you through some of the challenges we have been facing while building. As you all know, building is devoid of any challenges. You have to come across challenges here and there, and I have a few that I'd love to share with you so that it can be an eye-opener for someone. You know, I would be lying if I told you that the process has been smooth all through. There has been challenges, and that is normal to any construction work. Today, the cost of construction or building in Africa is quite high, and it takes time. People take years and years to build until completion. In fact, some people say that you never stop building. It is a process that you have to go through step by step. But I wouldn't speak for everybody. I'm just speaking about my experiences with my family. But for those who have, if you have all the money at once, then you can do it once and for all. But it is something that needs time, process. If you've built a house, you need to stay in the house to be able to know the challenges in it, to know where to correct, and where to improve over time. That's why it's never a one-time process. This is a while back while we were continuing the process of construction, and it was raining a lot. As you can see, we have sand, and it is important to set up all the construction materials firsthand as you continue building, because it will come in handy when the workers begin to work. During construction, you will also need adequate water supply. And since we are in an African village, we have to find ways of getting water. This borehole was also dug way earlier before construction began, because the construction would need a lot of water, and we cannot just rely on water that we get from rain, or we cannot spend more money on water that is bought. So it is really usually advisable that you dig a borehole, try to find a water source from underground, and that will come in handy when it comes to construction, because it will greatly reduce on cost. So my dad had to ensure that there is constant water supply. And what better way to have constant water supply if not by digging a borehole like he did? That aside, the biggest challenge we've faced with this house has been roofing. Oh my goodness. The roofing of the house looks really beautiful, but tell me why it's leaking. Huh? Every time it rains, then it starts to leak, and that's a very huge problem to us at the moment. We had plans to have a gypsum ceiling installed, but after staying in the house for a while and noticed how the roof is leaking, then we decided to change our minds for a while and try to find a solution that will work for us. There is a certain roofing technique that was borrowed from Uganda, because it is Ugandans that usually apply this technique on the ceilings. So that is what we borrowed to be able to form a concrete-like ceiling because of the leaking roof. And it's basically a mixture of sand and cement. This is an example of the same exact technique that was applied on the ceiling to form a concrete wall ceiling that would prevent water from directly leaking into the house, because gypsum and water do not go hand in hand. If it starts forming maps, it really looks very ugly. The mason also came with a certain glue to be able to block the areas that were leaking from the roof, but there is still water draining into the house, even though it's not a lot, but it is still something that still is of concern to us. So this is how the roofing technique is once the ceiling has been filled with cement. And this is how the ceiling was looking afterwards when we had painted the walls with the first coating. I'll also walk you around to other areas of the house so that you can be able to see how the ceiling is looking after the process. So later on, when we have confirmed that the problem with the leaking ceiling is over, then we can consider applying gypsum on the ceiling. Gypsum ceiling is modern, and it will also provide adequate light in areas with darkness, like the corridors and so on and so forth. This here is one of the unfinished bedrooms, and shortly I'll just show you the ceiling so that you can be able to see where the leakage is happening. If you can see that far corner, we have some watermarks on the ceiling. So when it rains heavily, and this is an area that's prone to rainfall, it really rains a lot, then we end up having those marks on the ceiling, because the roof is leaking and it's letting in water into the ceiling, hence the marks. Guys, let me know in the comment section, since this is a problem that we're facing, let me know what would make a roof leak into the ceiling when it rains. What brings about these kind of problems? Because honestly, this is beginning to feel like a nightmare. And so far, installing that concrete wall on the ceiling has really costed us a lot of money, considering that we again are planning to have gypsum ceiling. It's almost like double work, honestly. Anyway, whoever installed the tiles did a great or fantastic job. We have been working on the tiles and everything feels good, everything is comfortable, the tiles are clean, the tiles are looking fantastic, and I must say that the one who did the tiles did a great job and we love it. We've tested it and we can attest that the quality that was done there was perfect. As for the leaking roof, dealing with root cause definitely gives a better solution. If we resolve the main issue, then we will not have to go all the way trying to look for ways to prevent water from getting to the ceiling. The overall cost is way too much. The only major problem we have with this house is the roofing, because it's leaking. Otherwise, most of the things that were done in a perfect manner. Well, these are the two types of ceilings my dad chose for the house. And this is way back when we were installing tiles on the walls of the kitchen. And so far, so good, because the look up until today is beautiful. We decided to build concrete walls for the kitchen because that's a common style of building here in Africa, and it's pretty affordable and pocket friendly as well, I must say. So here we decided to go with a dark gray sink for the kitchen, and it was installed successfully. We also had marble tiles on top of the countertops, and the outcome is pretty amazing. I like it. Looks good. We have more than enough space in the kitchen for cooking. Of course, as in most African villages, cooking with firewood or charcoal is common, but definitely will not be cooking with firewood inside the indoor kitchen. That's why normally we have an outdoor kitchen as well to aid with that. So at this point, the tiling is done, and what remains is the cabinetry. So we're supposed to have cabinets installed on the walls of the kitchen above and also below where the sink is, and other areas like below the countertops. So we should be able to have enough space for utensils, enough space for food, and enough storage to make sure that the kitchen remains free of any clutter. At the moment, the utensils rack is aiding with utensils that ought to be used every day. But the rest, we have to find ways to dry and later store in areas where they can be easily accessed. We are yet to install the taps on the sink, so hopefully that will be done soon so that we can be able to use the sink eventually. So the moment we have cabinets installed, then there shouldn't be any problem with any utensils hanging around everywhere. Everything will be put in its rightful place. The guy who did the tiling did a fantastic job, and as you can see also from the kitchen you can directly see the dining table, so that's quite a lovely arrangement, so you don't need to go far to be able to get to the dining table, and that makes everything simple and smooth. Like I did mention earlier, we can't complain about the tiling of the house. Everything was done perfectly. The tiles are not shaky, the tiles are not loose, the tiles are looking beautiful, they're easy to clean, simple to use, well installed. And in terms of tiling, I can give it a 10 out of 10. They did a fantastic job on that. So hopefully once the issue with the roofing has been sorted out, then we are considering to have gutters installed so that we can be able to harness rainwater. Very important. Rainwater is not salty. It's easily accessible. The area rains a lot, and it would be only wise to have a way to be able to harness the rainwater from the roofs. So gutters is a must. But first of all, we need to find a way of bringing a huge tank that can accommodate a lot of water, that can go into feeding the plants, daily use of the house, like washing utensils, doing laundry and the like. We also have piping done and other tanks installed high in the roof to supply the whole house with water. So that is in place, and definitely as time goes by, it will start to be functional. But until then we should have an outdoor tank that also provides us with water to supply our needs, apart from the well that we already dug. That will be needing a motor to be able to pump the water up, and from time to time fill the tank on top and other tanks as well for constant water supply in the house, to be able to be used in the toilets and showering as well. So just like I did mention earlier, no construction is devoid of any challenges. So I've mentioned just but a few. And if you found the video helpful, you can consider subscribing. Thank you also for watching, and leave your comments in the comment section below about your thoughts, and it will be great to hear from you. Also, let me know where you're watching from. That will be great as well. Like, share, comment, and let's catch up in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.